I am very straight up and honest, but I'm not. You know how people are just being jerks. I'm not a jerk. I'll always tell you the truth,
right?
In the way that you understand it. Like I'll give you an example. Like if I wanted you not to shoot threes or anything like that,
I tell you,
I'm not gonna say don't shoot threes, but I'm gonna be like, hey, you're a great shooter. Go shoot them threes. But I believe, because this is always getting through. But I believe
you would piss me off.
I would push you off. I know. But
I'd rather you just tell me don't shoot threes.
No. Listen. But in the long run, you know what you'd say? You'll be the only person you listen to. You know why? Because I would always tell you.
But I would rather you tell me don't shoot threes.
But I am going to tell you the truth. But the way I'm going to say it, you won't understand that I just told you.
Tell me straight up. Don't tell me straight up. Be like, nah, you hurting us right now.
But I'll tell you. No, because this is the thing.
That's me though. That's how, you talking to me. Like I get people, everybody's different.
You got a game. And you're having a bad game, whatever, and you're not making threes. If I go to you, bro, and I say, you're hurting us, what are you doing?
I prefer that.
Wait. You might be one of the 5%. I cannot find somebody who's drowning and throw him a rock. I gotta grab his arm and say, hey, move your feet.
I respect that.
Move your feet. Come.
I respect that.
Move your feet. Because if I throw you a rock and go like that, you're gonna grab it.
I respect that.
You know, especially
but see, you play for Patino, so you know why I feel this.
Oh yeah, I already know.
Patino,
they ain't no excuse. They ain't no excuses.
Will tell you what the fuck are you doing? Bro, why are you shooting
so fast? In speed like
in a heartbeat.
Yes. So it's one of the ones.
So that's why I'm more like I tell all my coaches like, man, if I'm
old school, I like that.
If I'm shooting like shit. And if I'm shooting too many threes, like tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect that about you though. Like that's leadership. Cause like I understand as a leader, you have to be able to talk to people differently.
Yeah, everybody's different.
But if you're talking to me, you better tell me like, all right, yo, like you bullshitting right now. Like, come on.
And now look at this. As a teammate or as a coach, let's say example, if it used to be like coaches are the players are the reflection of a coach. So 15 players would play like the coach. Would be like, oh, you look at Duke, look at Kentucky, look at Louisville, like, oh, they're all playing as their coach. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, it's not like that, bro. Nowadays, I gotta be like the coach or anybody gotta be 12 players, 15 players. I gotta be a different teammate for everybody because the way I talk to you, it's not the same way I'm gonna talk to a young guy. Because if I talk to him like that, he might shut down. And if he shuts down, you know what that means. He hurts.
That's the one thing about leadership people don't think about. Like, people don't understand you can't talk to everybody the same.
The same.
You can't.
If this kid shuts down, forget about it. Even we're in a competitive space. And this is, bro, this is our livelihood. Like, okay, you could say like everybody is in, I gotta look straight forward, I gotta do my job. But at the same time, if this kid shut down, it's bad for the team. It's bad for him. It's bad for the future of the team. So how can I say, what are you doing? You're not supposed to take that shot. No, he knows he's not supposed to take that shot. The only thing I gotta tell him is like, the next time, way down your shoulders, and if you take the shot, you make it. Everybody's okay with it. If you don't make it, we got to get in the lab. And again, sorry, I don't want to talk your ear off.
You good, bro. I appreciate it. People need to hear that.
No, we having this microphone, and I want to be very respectful of your time. And guys, with this, I want to conclude. Actually, I want to ask one last question. Like, what is a quote that gets you motivated and gets you going? And say like, this is what keeps me.
I have a few. It calls for different occasions. The one that always sticks with me, when you're going through it, like when you're, because it's easy to have quotes when you're playing well. It's easy to have quotes when everything's going right. Yeah. But I think the one that, always gets me is like, and especially because my journey, like I explained to you, like I didn't expect to be here and all these different things. Like, we ain't come this far just to come this far. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, they didn't just, like I tell people all the time, like, you have a bad game, like, you have a stretch. Someone like myself, like, you have a stretch, like, you've done it. I've done it. Like, I've done it. Whatever it may be, like, scored at the highest level. Yeah. I've, like, I haven't won a championship, but I've done, like, all stuff. Like, I've done that.
So it's like, runs and be
like,
the guy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you go through those stretches where you're not playing well, like, you have the capability. Like, God ain't gonna lead you to this point and just be like, all right, it's done. Like, that drop, like, it ain't, like, especially because the work you put in. Like, if you ain't putting in the work and you riding on talent, then yeah, it's gonna fall off at some point. But, like, if you put in the time and the effort and you actually working to become that, you ain't just come this far to come this far. Like, you know what I mean? The man above has you know, for you to be doing this is part of it. You know what I mean? For you to run into a wall, like, for me, losing the first round last year, like, did it 2 years in a row. Like, you run into a wall, what you gonna do about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. What you gonna do about it?
Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't come this far just to come this far. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing for me that I always tell, especially like the younger generation. I tell them, like, don't let a year, you know, a minute, a moment, a week, you know, define all the layer of work that you've done. You know what I'm saying? And
sure.
Because if you do that, then that's the level of inconsistency. That means you're not really built for it. Like, you know what I mean? So that's probably one of my favorite ones. For sure.